This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Deborah Coviello.
Welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast Live. Are you in need of a floor restoration company? One might be closer than you think. So today I have the pleasure of introducing your good neighbor and my friend, Jerod Martin with ReCoat Revolution of East Cincinnati. How's it going today?
It's going good. Thanks, Deb.
All right. Well, listen, we're going to just get to it. We'd love to learn more about your business. So tell us a bit about ReCoat Revolution of East Cincinnati.
Yeah, so we are a flooring company, and we like to say we breathe new life into old floors. Doesn't mean they're really old. It can. We've done 120-year-old floors, but then we've also come back in, cleaned up, and recoated floors that were traditionally sanded and refinished 5 years previous to add an extra layer of protection to those floors. Hardwood floors are one of those that they can last forever if you treat them well and take care of them. Most people think if they just get them redone every 20, 30 years, they're good, and that's when you start to run into problems. So the beauty of our process and what we do, though, is we can work on any hard surface floor in a home or a business, not just hardwood. So engineered hardwood, we've done that many times, laminate, LVP, parquet, bamboo, you name it, any type of hard surface flooring, and we can come in, clean it up, and recoat it. So yeah, it's a great process, and we do it all in the beauty of our process too is it's all done in one day. You leave in the morning or stay there, and then by dinner you can be back walking on your floors in socks with your floors all done and refinished.
Oh, that sounds absolutely amazing. But by the way, how did you get into this line of this business?
Yeah, so we are a franchise, and I worked with a franchise consultant to learn about ReCoat. And at first, I thought flooring, that's not for me. But we were always, the past few years, my family and I, we've been very intrigued by the home services, that whole industry. Everyone has a home, everyone has a floor, and we thought, what's the future of, in business? And for us, it was kind of, hey, we want to do something with our hands. We want to do something that truly does help people in their home. And I've been called a hero by a lady. People have gasped when they've seen their floors because they had so much wax and acrylic built up on it that they had never seen what their floors actually look like until we uncovered them and then recoated them. So it's one of those where shockingly, it does actually change people's lives in their minds having their floors cleaned and recoated. But that was for us, that was a big deal. We wanted to do something that could help people and didn't feel like we were just selling something that you could get anywhere, but there was a proprietary aspect and something unique about this business, and that's what led us to ReCoat Revolution.
Oh, that's an absolutely amazing story. Now, we want to make sure you have an opportunity just to kind of dispel any myths or misconceptions, because this sounds almost too good to be true. I mean, is there anything that you've had to refute or say, no, it's actually like this?
Yeah, so a lot of times people say, well, we're just going to do a buff and coat or a screening coat, which I could get into the details, but I don't know if we have a lot of time to kind of really explain the differences on those. And where I try to help people understand is when you buff your floor or screen your floor, you're not really fully getting all the contaminants up. And you'll have upwards of 50% of those floors will end up failing because there's still contaminants on the floor. I've had another company who would be a competitor of ours who has told me, hey, I'm going to refer all of these types of jobs to you now because we see it 50% of the floors we do in this type of situation, we find they fail. So I stopped doing them, but I didn't have anyone to go to. And so because of our process, we are getting all those contaminants and anything on your floor that's on there, from cleaners, products to dirt to you name it. We're getting it all up, getting your floors back to pH neutral. And there's a proprietary aspect that no one else does that I can't really say here on this, but before we do the commercial grade coat of polyurethane, we do another step, and that guarantees our seal on your floor. So it's a great process, but a lot of times people don't know, and so when I meet them, they're like, "Oh, I didn't know you existed." And I'm like, "Well, that's kind of the thing. We're pretty new, and we've been going for just over a year now."
And that's why we're here today, to get the word out. And so we know marketing and getting the word out is the heart of every business. So how are you targeting customers? How do you attract them?
Yeah, so we do marketing through local search ads with Google. We do Google ads, but then our biggest probably thing right now utilize is Meta, so Facebook and Instagram. People love the videos of our team pulling poly across the floor. It's kind of those satisfying videos of people power washing sidewalks or whatever it is where you see that change. They love watching that the polyurethane being pulled all the way across the floor. And so we do a lot of marketing that way. And that's what really drives a lot of people to us, where they see that and they go, oh, we just want you to come in and recoat our floors. And I said, well, that's just the last 10% of what we do. 90% is the actual prep work where we can come in, get your floors ready. We can actually color correct in spots where the color has faded and it's kind of raw in some areas where the high traffic patterns. People will have gray on their floors. It's just dirt. So we actually, and at times, we will bleach those sections of the floor. I know people are bleaching my floor, but we get them back as raw and as white as possible. And then the floor can accept the stain in those areas to match everything around it. And then we follow the next steps and get your floors back to looking great again.
Yeah, the power of video, the video marketing is amazing.
Yeah.
Just curious, I mean, you and I've known each other for a while. Have you ever thought about doing a podcast?
I did one, a health related one for about a year. I did 50 episodes, and then another business I had a few years ago. It just was the right time for me to step away from that, and our business just kind of took off at that point. So I stepped away at that point, but yeah, it's always been I love interviewing people. I'm curious by nature. I love talking to people and just asking questions. So I always enjoy doing it because it was a fun time just engaging with people on kind of everyday health. So the people who aren't professional athletes, but the people who perform at a high level athletically or in their spare time working out and things like that. But they also have a family, they work full time, they're leaders, whatever it might be. So it's always a good time talking and engaging with people.
Yeah, and this has been a great conversation, but also people like to buy from people they trust. So I'd love
Yeah.
for you to share a little bit about what you do for fun or outside of ReCoat.
Yeah, so I have four kids, 15 down to seven, three girls and a boy, and so they keep us busy between sports and school and activities and all that. So we're hanging out with them a lot. We like to do stuff with a family. I enjoy working out. So right now it's getting up in the morning before everyone else is awake in the dark and getting working out, getting that in. But that's really kind of the big thing for me is just kind of staying focused on what can continue to help me. I'm 42 now, but I want to maintain a level of health that into my 60s, 70s, 80s, I can still feel good and still be active. And then, very active in our church as well. So that keeps us busy. And yeah, I love spending time with my wife and hanging out and her being my best friend. It's always good to come home. It's sad to leave. I enjoy leaving to go do what I do, but I'm always excited to come home to be back with the people I love.
A beautiful story. And Jerod, if there was something that you wanted to leave with our listeners that they should remember about your business, ReCoat Revolution of East Cincinnati, what would that be?
Yeah, one of the big things is we always want to make sure we're helping our customer out in the best way possible. I've loved. We have 47 5-star reviews now on Google on our Google business profile, and I love every single one of those. I love getting those just because it's a glimpse into what people expected and what they thought and the results they achieved. So for us, it's coming in and really I have high expectations for when we go onto a floor. And at our franchise headquarters, I talked to one of the sons a lot, and he always early on had the same issue. It's you get on the floor and you're stressed the whole time because you just have this high expectation because you really want to treat the customer, the homeowner, well, and so that they love what you're doing. So for us, this is our goal is always to treat our customers well, to leave the home better than the way we found it.
All right. And on that note, how can listeners learn more about your company?
Yeah, you can go to recoatrevolution.com/East Cincinnati. You can go on to our Google business profile. If you search ReCoat Revolution of East Cincinnati on Google, you can find us there. We're on Instagram and Facebook. I try to post a lot of content. So videos of floors before and afters to pulling poly. And yeah, so you can find us any of our social medias and any of that way.
All right. Well, Jerod, I really appreciate you being on the show, and we wish you and your business and the customers that you serve the best moving forward.
Thanks, Deb. Appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpcincinnati.com. That's gnpcincinnati.com. Or call 513-878-0987.
All right, you were great as usual.